Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Superman and Lois episode 207. Well, Miracle dies of laughter. So this episode was called Antihero, and unlike old people, I like this a lot. Miracle does not like old people, but I like this.
Like old people. It's that she doesn't trust old people.
Well, okay, I don't blame her for that. That's fine. I mean, so what if she's a little bit hateful? Miracle's a little bit hateful. That's fine.
A little ageist in her trust.
A little ageist, but that's fine. All right, so Superman and Lois. This was episode 207.
Brett's coming down to business.
Exactly.
I like this one not quite as much as I liked last week's episode, but I like this one far more than I liked the first few episodes of the year.
They did Bizarro dirty.
They did. If you didn't know what we were talking about, that would come off very odd.
Yeah.
They did screw over Bizarro. I also want
looks at me because I did not.
That's
watch
why
the
I
show.
laughed, because I was like, she's got to wonder like what the hell are they talking about. I did notice no Chrissy, no John Henry, no Irons, and no Natalie at all. We will continue with our understanding that the Cushings are the worst part of this show right now. And this is to no fault of the actors. This is simply a horrible storyline. I read an article that said that's like Lana Lang Cushing is the heart of the show. I'm like, no, she's just being kind of like abused by this horrible storyline. And in this episode, so if we start off, we have the fallout of Jonathan being caught doing drugs. Where they get all the super meth gets confiscated. Also, they have drug dogs coming, and drug dogs can somehow find inhalers. I don't know how a drug dog would smell an inhaler. Is that possible? Could a drug dog smell an inhaler full of drugs?
But the inhaler, yeah. Well, if it's got drugs in it, it's not a real inhaler.
Well,
right?
yeah, it's not a real.
I love that you looked at me because I'm an expert on drugs, dogs, and police training.
You seem like you might know something like that from writing an article.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Well, it's because like the residue, and also like it's dust. You have to remember it's made out of like the super rock.
Okay. All right.
So
cool.
I think the dogs like had the dust, inhaled it, and they're like, oh, it's
why
super.
didn't the dogs become super then? That's the real question.
Maybe it doesn't affect dogs because they're not crypto.
Because they're already good boys.
Very good boys. Anderson as a bad guy is freaking awesome.
Yep.
I love that this guy is like, at first he was just kind of vaguely annoying as like Lieutenant Douchebag. Now he's like evil.
What a horrible name to give your kid.
Lieutenant Douchebag.
It's Douchebash.
Douchebag.
So Jordan, I can't with Jordan anymore, dude. He's so
Dude,
no woman in the world. Like on one hand, I'm like looking at the way that Sarah like treats him, and I'm like, she's so mean. She treats this boyfriend who's like perfect to her, like so she treats him so poorly. But then I'm like, that's because no woman actually wants a wishy-washy beta male dude. And I'm not trying to be mean, but the kid is very like, oh, how are you? Oh, it's like, oh, can I help in any way? She's like, I don't think. Oh, I literally wrote it like it's like she's like he says, Jordan says like she explains like all the stuff that's going on with her parents, like with her dad cheating on her mom, and he goes, I can imagine, and then she goes, I don't think you can. I don't know if you can. Mind you, the kid who said I can imagine is the kid that got cheated on by the girl who said I don't think you can imagine.
Oh, this is that couple?
So
I remember this vaguely. But he's just sort of a cock, right? Like
yes, he's the definition. But the problem is the irony of this is that the
I've
mom,
never seen this show, but that's all I know about it.
When the mom was told by the daughter that she cheated on her boyfriend with a girl at camp, she hand waved it away and said, if he can't understand that you made a mistake or this or that,
it's
then
double standards.
Then he doesn't deserve you. But now all of this is happening because the mom who hand waved away her daughter's cheating got cheated on by her husband, and suddenly he is the devil incarnate.
She can't understand his mistake.
She can't.
Well, as you know, women are allowed to do things that men aren't. Our standards for behavior are much lower than men.
And I'm getting
I'm
this.
just kidding. Obviously, disavow
Yes, disavow. I'm getting this out of the way because this show could be a classic if it wasn't being bogged down by the story. Even the drug storyline with Jordan is classic.
Jonathan.
Did I say Jordan? Okay.
Yeah.
The drug storyline with Jonathan is like it's like classic. Like network TV parental issues, right? Like the kid gets caught doing something, the mom's like, I want the name of the person who did it, and then like, he won't give it to him. It's like it's not quite after school special, but it's being done really well. So you can do the family like the Bitsy Tulloch is at her best when she's being a mom to the kids, and like in playing like the strong wife who's also a professional with Clark.
Yeah,
she's fantastic in that role, which is weird because maybe it's just because I'm like I have a hard time like accepting that I'm in my 30s now. So I'm seeing these people who have kids that are supposedly in their teens, and I'm like, this woman's like my age. I'm like, I'm not. No.
Come on, like
You made different life choices.
Yes.
So
That's true.
technically, you could have teenage children if you had started early.
Yes.
Well, Brett, imagine this. I could have been your daughter.
This is-
because my mom's about the same age as you.
I don't. think
Just a
that's
few
true.
years
Oh my
older. But imagine
God.
that. Like, because my mom had me when she was like 17, 18. So imagine Brett making a mistake. I could be his daughter at this age.
You just heard it. Miracle called her own birth a mistake.
Oh, yeah. We all know this. I was left in the closet.
Yes. So
Oh, I
we're
thought I
not
told you
we're not
this.
doing that.
okay,
we're
that's
not
an
doing
off-air
that.
thing.
Yeah, that's an off-air thing.
We'll circle back to that.
There was one line that Lois gave when she was kind of I'm doing a horrible job of like running people through the episode. I'm just talking about stuff that matters to
know.
me. I apologize.
That's okay.
Well,
I've learned everything I needed to
the
learn.
people who watch these, I'm sure, like watch the episode and are just getting people's take on it. But also, we get the part where basically Clark has been captured by Anderson. And he's being held in a prison cage with red sunlight. With Morgan Edge or Telro with his brother, and they have to break out to prevent Bizarro from getting taken out by Anderson because they need Bizarro because they're trying to figure out what Allie Alston is doing, who's been revealed as kind of like
She's trying to be God.
She's trying to become a god and all this stuff. And I just want to go on like there's a line where Bitsy Tulloch says to Lana Lang, says she's afraid to tell Clark about Jonathan using drugs because I'm afraid that he'll never if he finds out he'll never forgive him. Bullshit. Clark is like the most understanding. Like when Clark is more like Jordan than he is Jonathan. Like when he tries to be like stern dad, I'm like, first of all, you're too good looking. He's too handsome, and he's like, you're doing bad things, and you shouldn't do bad things. And I'm very disappointed in you. And I'm like, you just sound.
See, right, you could totally be a dad.
I'm like, you just sound like the dude from Napoleon Dynamite trying to discipline someone with washboard abs. That's it. You're washboard ab Napoleon Dynamite.
This is your dad, and you're like, I just can't take you
I
seriously.
can't, you're too handsome.
Eat a jelly donut, and maybe we'll
I'm like,
talk.
you literally have like the jawline of a god.
You respond like sassy girl. I don't think you could understand what I'm going
Exactly.
through.
So there's some fantastic parts where Telro jumps in front of kryptonite bullets to save Clark. So they're literally taking the guy who was the big bad from last year, who was awful as the big bad last year. That was like one of the downsides is they had a very like he was kind of like a what would the term for like a charisma vacuum. He just didn't play good bad guy very well. Now in season 2, where he's no longer like a main character, he's fantastic as a bad guy.
I think he's better as a side character.
Yes, he's much better as a side character, and I just found so much funny with everything to do with Sarah, and then also Lana and Lois get together for a conversation. It's the funniest. It's like two women just validating the shit out of each other over and over. It's like, you're a great mom. It's like, you're a great mom. This isn't your fault.
That sounds awful.
This isn't your fault. No,
It's the
really,
CW
it's weird.
writing.
It's the relationship stuff drags down the superhero stuff, but there's just not enough of the good superhero stuff. But it's so not offensive compared to most of what gets put out by that network. Also, after she tells Jordan that he can't understand what she's going through, even though she did that to him. You know who she calls on for help?
The guy she cheated on him with. Or the
girl
girl.
yes,
I lost track.
yes, that girl comes and basically helps her. And I'm just like, they want me to hate this character.
Seems like a very anti-man show. I'm just gonna put it on the table.
That storyline is. I wouldn't say that the whole show is. I do think that
How do you know?
all of the men are like the husband is of course a bad guy, but the daughter can't. Like at the end, she kind of gave him a second chance, right? Yeah. Well, it was like more of like a teaser, like where her dad was like,
she has a bad dad, and so she picks a meek and unsatisfactory boyfriend.
Yes.
Interesting.
The dad. Well, just last year, the dad's storyline was that he was an alcoholic and then got sober, and now he's sober, and now this year he's cheating. I'm like, if they don't redeem this dude by the end, there is no reason to put him through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they if he redeems himself, and it better not be with him dying. I will be pissed if it has to do with him dying, because all the women are infallible. In the family storylines, and the men are all kind of like, Clark is like, so what if you're Superman? You need to be here for your family all the time. That's kind of the premise of the show. And it's weird because it feels like
Is his kid the one that like got cheated on?
Yes. Yep.
Oh man, this is a rough show.
Yep. So, but the thing is, that's like the one bad storyline, and it gets dragged down by not having John Henry Irons. It gets dragged down by not having his daughter, who I thought would be worse, but now like compared to like
Natalie
cheaty girl from
Sarah.
Natalie versus cheaty girl from band camp. I'll take Natalie every day of the week.
Band camp? They're not even.
I don't know.
fun,
It's
like,
not band camp.
it was
It's
just
summer
camp.
camp.
It's not even sweet like theater camp.
No, it's
lesbianism?
summer camp.
It was just summer camp. Vague summer camp. Could have been band camp. Could have been space camp. for all
No,
we
it
know.
was summer camp because
probably
nobody
was-
wears booty shorts like that at band camp
Okay.
unless like
Well, that's
you
too bad.
reenact American Pie.
Yep. So we get Anderson. The drugs that Clark's son gets caught with, that Jonathan gets caught with, is actually super meth, as we call it. It's actually been confiscated. Like there's large quantities of it in the government has it, and the general who has like been put in charge of taking out Superman and bringing down Bizarro Superman takes it himself and then goes to battle with them. That scene was really cool. I enjoyed that scene a lot. And then Allie Alston kind of looks like, I was wondering if maybe her and Anderson will end up being like turned into Bizarro or turned into, not Abomination, to,
What?
not Darkseid,
Doomsday.
Doomsday. Thank you.
I was like, what are you trying to point
the
at?
Abomination. Like I was like wondering if like their bodies will be turned into Doomsday. Tyler Hoechlin just can't do dad. He's too handsome. That was like in my notes. I was like, just be Superman the whole time. You're fine as Superman. You're too handsome to be a dad. And Morgan Edge, like I thought he was dead, but then they randomly brought him back to the prison.
I don't know. It's just this episode, excluding the Bizarro part. This whole episode was messy. I
liked it. But
I liked it a lot. I'll give you credit for that. I liked it a lot, but I just feel like if you just got rid of the good parts, this whole episode is just messy.
yeah. Also, it's funny that he was Clark in the beginning was taken hostage by the government and held in this prison, and then he was authorized. The Anderson character was allowed to do this by the general, and then once he beats when he escapes with his brother from the prison. Beats Anderson, who was the one who held him captive, he brings his brother back to the prison, to the government that literally just imprisoned him for no reason. Why would you do that?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Why would anyone do that?
I don't know, bud.
That makes no sense.
I don't know, bud.
He literally could have just held him in prison in the fortress.
He's just a Boy Scout of America.
He really is. And that's I would rather we see less of Allie Alston because I don't find her as compelling as Lieutenant Douchebag. I really do like Anderson as a bad. Like originally he was kind of just annoying. Now he's like he chews the scenery and he's just a bad dude, and I like it. So that is my not quick review. Basically, get rid of as much of the family stuff as you can from the Cushings. If you're gonna,
I don't care about the Cushings.
if you're gonna include the Cushings, try to find a way to work it into the actual superhero elements somehow. I don't know how you do that, but that would be
Just
the way to
kill off Sarah.
the
I mean,
bold choice, Cotton. Bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it works out for them. They'd get in trouble for that. They'd be
what? Kill off Sarah?
Yep, they'd get in trouble for that.
What? She could take super meth by accident, and she happens to be that one.
Which one's Sarah?
She's the cheating. she's a cheater who's then mad at her dad for cheating.
Okay.
Well, she's not mad. She wants to talk to him.
I like that part at the end. Like they're gonna. if they have any sense, they'll redeem the dad because the dad
Or
does,
they'll kill him.
or they'll kill him.
No, kill Sarah.
He will die in redemption. Like he'll do so. Like he'll jump in front of a bullet to save his daughter, and she's like, "I loved you all along, even though you cheated on me, on mom. You cheated on mom."
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So I just hope they like because I like the. At first, I hated the guy who played Kyle, the dad, the dad who cheated. Now he's like, because he gets crapped on every episode, you got to root for the guy. I'm like, give the guy a break.
So funny.
He made a mistake.
I don't know. But again, let me just pitch this idea. She takes the super meth and she happens to be one of those persons that can't take it and she explodes.
Or she could just explode from hypocrisy for cheating on her boyfriend and then being mad at her dad for.
What if she just runs off with Audrey?
possibly understand
I
what she's
couldn't.
going
I
through.
couldn't understand what it's like. I have no idea.
God, Brett.
That is my review for the show. What's funny is like I meant for this to be a very positive review, and I actually liked the episode, but I just really
Not clear to me that's true.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
As
you guys.
your impartial listener to this, no. I don't know that you do.
I mean, this episode wasn't bad.
I guess it's because like the superhero stuff when Clark's in costume feels like such a different show than the family stuff that when they do the non-Cushing family stuff, like how the Kents handle their dad being Superman and how she handles her husband being Superman, that stuff works. But the Cushing stuff just feels so not connected. So I think that's why it doesn't work for me. It's like in Smallville that made sense. It wasn't just a show about Superman, it was about the town of Smallville. This show's literally called Superman and Lois. So it feels like it should be more centered around the Kent family specifically. So just my 2 cents. Miracle, any final thoughts?
Yeah, just get rid of Sarah. I'm okay with it. You got rid of the younger sister, Sophie. Like,
Yeah.
can't you just get rid of Sarah?
There is like a daughter, like a younger daughter who just kind of comes and goes as needed by the script. Like they can't afford, like they're like, I don't know, it costs a lot to have like a kid on the show because they can only record during certain hours. They're like, they have the daughter, but maybe they're the Musks of Smallville. They're like, we have a daughter, but do we have a daughter? I don't know. It just she comes and goes.
I would call them my parents, but I don't know if they would call me their child.
It's a little bit we're pretty fluid with our descriptions of our family.
I don't know. For me,
Get rid of Sarah.
Yeah, just get rid of Sarah.
And bring back Steele.
Natalie.
Yeah, bring back John Henry Irons and Natalie. They were fantastic. So.
Because I kind of want to see, does Natalie, because like Natalie and Jonathan had like a weird thing.
Chemistry.
Yeah, they had a weird thing. So if you want to do like relationships, I want you to focus on Natalie and Jonathan.
There you go.
Because like Natalie is from a different universe. She might like maybe like just her being there might make Jonathan actually have superpowers. Because like you know how he took the super meth, like his like for some weird reason, like he had super sight and super strength, while Lieutenant Anders like he had X-ray vision.
Yep. Maybe because he's older, like in a fully formed adult rather than a.
But that doesn't make sense. How come like the other people didn't develop this?
This is also like all these shows and things. It's like very wishy-washy about what gets what powers and what actually does anything. So we will see.
I don't know.
We will see.
Let's talk about other superheroes.
All right. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.